What happens when you find out a content creator that you admire or an artist that you like has done some really bad stuff in their personal life? Do you stop supporting them? Do you not care? Do you say to yourself, well, I don't care what they do in their personal life. I just like the stuff they do, the stuff they create. I used to think like that when I was younger. When I was younger, I could separate more easily the art from the artist. It was easily because I was more detached to those people. But the older that I get, the more sensitive I think I become. I mean, I hate to say it, but it's true. And nowadays, when I see or I hear, or when I hear that somebody that I like a lot has done some awful shit, I can't help it but to look at them differently. I remember that happened to me when the Louis C.K. thing happened, where he was accused of masturbating in front of girls and stuff like that. I used to love Louis C.K. as a comedian, and I still think he's a great comedian, but at the same time, it did affect the way that I look at him, because I just don't understand how these people that I looked up to can do this awful shit that seem irrational to the character that they portray. That happened to me now recently with the Sky Williams controversy that he's in. That shit has really got me thinking, because I was a big fan of Sky, and I'm still a fan of his content and his sense of humor, but the more that I hear about the things that he's done and the things that the things that he has allowed to happen in the houses that he ran, it's just so irresponsible, especially when you compare it to the kind of stuff that he preaches about and his content, because he always portrayed himself as a very rational, sensitive human being, to the point that if Sky Williams had reacted to another person that did the same stuff that he did, he would probably go hard on them and moralize them in some sort of way, because he knows that shit was wrong. When it comes to Sky Williams personally, it affects me because I really like that dude, and I thought he was funny, and it's hard for me to believe. First of all, I didn't even know that guy was a landlord for like 4 houses. I didn't even know he did that. I thought it was just a YouTuber, but and I kind of knew that he lived with a lot of people, because I've seen his bits. He always interacts with other people in the house, but I didn't know it was 4 houses, and I didn't know it was like a business for him, that he lived off that. But now with all the news that are coming out that he ran all those I think it was 4 houses, and that I heard that some of them were well maintained, that they were unkempt, and that there was like 20 people living in a house. It's like way too much people. And that they used to have parties with minors, and that they harbor pedophiles in some of those houses, and minors. I mean, like, shit. Like, dude, come on. I mean, of knowing about it and not doing anything. And then the stream that he did, like a Twitch stream that was like 2 hours, I think. I couldn't bear watch the whole thing, because it was all very dramatic and very it was a little bit too much. And though he didn't do anything himself, he knew about it, and he admits it, that he knew about it, and that he didn't do anything. And not only that, there's other posts talking about a hierarchy in those houses, that the more popular that you were, the more power that you had in those houses. And if you weren't popular enough in those houses, they would treat you more badly, and you wouldn't have the same privileges as somebody that was like I don't know, a bigger content creator, or somebody that had more clout. I don't know. And that shit is so shitty too, because that one I can totally believe, because from watching old Sky Williams videos, he used to suck up to like the content creators like Donkey. Like he would talk to them with more respect than he would talk to like a nobody, you know. And man, it just I don't even know what to think about it, because I don't particularly like cancel culture. I think cancel culture really has become, in some cases, a bit of a witch hunt. And if you put almost anybody through the scrutiny of cancel culture, you'll find out that they did something wrong. And because nobody's perfect, I understand that, but it seems that all the little things, all the little flaws in they can compile all the little flaws in your characters and just compile it to a bunch of things and cancel you. And sometimes I do think it's fitting. A lot of times, or other times I should say, I don't think it's fitting at all. So I'm very wary of cancel culture, but at the same time, I kind of get it. I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you. In the past, I didn't get it. Like old me, like 5 years or 6 years, in the past, I would have been like, oh, cancel culture is bullshit, and what does it matter? Separate the art from the artist. But nowadays, I kind of get it. I kind of get why they are trying all that cancel culture, because just because you like somebody, you know, and you admire, that doesn't mean you can excuse everything they do. And if you keep on supporting them and giving them clout, that clout is like power. And that power, if you keep giving it to them, it's the same power that allows them to get away with the bad things that they do. So the only way to really take that power away from them seems to be through cancel culture, which is really shitty if you ask me, because again, that affects the content creators that you like. That affects their content that they make, but I just don't see any other way to take that power away from them. So they stop doing it, because a lot of times people do bad things. Good people. Okay, let me rewind that. A lot of times, good people do bad things without even knowing it. They disassociate themselves from themselves. But if they heard it from another person, they would quickly say, "Oh no, that's wrong." But when they do it themselves, they somehow absolve themselves, like, "No, in my case it's different." And without people calling you out on that, you'll never realize it. You need people to call you out on that so you can realize it yourself. He has made so many videos talking about his depression, talking about all the shit that he has gone through, and he has talked about all the problems that he has had in his life, like he was sexually assaulted as a kid too. So that, you know, he knows the pain of living through that, and yet he allowed that to happen under his nose, and he kind of brushed it off and made some excuses. At the same time, he owned up to it, but at the same time, he kind of explained why he overlooked those things. And it's such bullshit, man. I mean, it is true. We often overlook a lot of shitty things in our lives. Especially, we often overlook a lot of shitty things coming from our friends and people that we know. And I understand that because I've overlooked a lot of things that friends of mine have done in the past. And granted, there's a lot of stuff that I shouldn't disassociate people from. If they did something, like I had friends who have cheated on their wives and stuff like that, or friends that have stolen from other people, and that's something that I never encourage, or it's something that I honestly hate that they've done that. But that doesn't mean I stopped talking with them, and in a way I have kept their secret because I haven't told anybody about the bad things that they did. So I kind of get in a way why he stayed quiet, but at the same time, I don't know. It's a shitty thing to do, I admit it. I mean, it's not that I'm gonna put my friends on blast, because my friends are not, public figures or content creators or anything like that. They're just people, But in Sky Williams' case, he's a public figure, and he was keeping secrets, from people that I guess are content creators too. I don't know. I mean, it's so complicated. I wish I have like a real resolve in my head about the whole situation, but I don't. I don't know what to suggest, how to change this part of human nature. I mean, the only thing that I could say is just to disassociate from anybody that does any bad in your life, which is a lot to ask. But if you think about it, if you want to be like a good moral person, that's kind of what you should do. I guess it makes you a shitty friend because you would put all your friends on blast, but at the end of the line is actually the good thing. That's like what a good moral person should do. I'm not saying I live up to the standards, but I honestly don't. But granted, I've never done something as bad as Sky Williams. Like I said, I don't have any resolve. I don't think I have a point or even in this fucking video. And God, I haven't still made it to this planet. But I don't know, it's just something that's been on my mind because I like Sky Williams. I don't know what's gonna happen to him now. He's gonna face a backlash over this. All the good things that he said are gonna be taken as a hypocrite. I don't know. And honestly, I don't know if I see him the same way that I used to see him, because he used to portray himself as such a sensitive, caring person, such a rational person, that for him to be on the other end of it is very surprising, and it's disappointing. I'm not gonna lie. Hopefully, I think, over time, people eventually will forget about this. Over time, he's probably gonna carry it, and people, even though people forget, somebody's always gonna bring it up back again. But I truly think if he makes amends and like really shows that he's regretful, and like I said, really make amends, especially with the people that he hurt, and he shows that he has really learned from it and that he really understands what he did wrong, and he stops doing it, and he realizes that, if he can handle that sort of responsibility that he had, then he shouldn't have it, and he removes himself from having that sort of responsibility and really makes amends. I think people will forgive him, and I really hope he grows and learns from this as a person. God, I don't think I even made a single logical point in this video, but that's just, I guess, how I feel. I mean, I don't script those videos or anything. Honestly, it's like way past my bedtime. I'm just, I sort of went in this YouTube rabbit hole about this guy Williams controversy, and it's just been bothering me, so kind of wanted to make a video about it. So yeah, I'm gonna leave it there.